What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna let a couple more people get in the chat, then we'll get started. Hope everybody's having a good day. Everybody who's watching this on the playback, I hope y'all are having a good day. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Y'all can start commenting in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me good. What's up? What's up? We're waiting for a couple more people. Give it a couple more minutes, then we'll get started. How's everybody feeling today? What's up? What's up? Javier, what's going on? we have a good chat today, man. Hey, listen, the game was crazy yesterday. I got a chance to actually go to a Lakers game, and that's my team. That's my West Coast team. My East Coast team is the Nets. My West Coast team is the Lakers. And I love LeBron. And I was able to see LeBron, Carmelo, Dwight, um, Russell Westbrook was playing. They had everybody playing, so that was great, man. I mean, the Lakers lost and all, but just to be able to see, LeBron throw down some real dunks was crazy. You know what I mean? So, and he dunked like 3 or 4 times. So that was cool. All right. We don't need to wait too much longer. Let's get started, man. Scotty, what's going on? You say you've been working out for a year now and look nothing like Ronnie Coleman. Hey, listen, neither do I, man. I've been working out for 10 years and I don't look nothing like Ronnie Coleman either, unless I close my eyes and imagine. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get started. We're going to talk about shredding first and give you guys 5 tips for shredding. And I know you probably can get the stuff online and hear from a lot of different people or YouTubers or whatever like that. But what I'm realizing is that what I like to do is kind of bring everything back around and put it in order for you. That way you know which part of it is most important and which part of it you can kind of funnel out. So I'm going to go over 5 tips. Hopefully today is pretty brief because, you probably heard a lot of this stuff before. But I'm going to double down on it so that okay, let me add this into my regimen so that it's really helping me out, right? So first, let's start with the shred, guys. Okay, if you're trying to get lean, you're trying to just get off the excess body fat. All right, now the first thing you want to do is fasted cardio. Fasted cardio, we talk about this all the time. Fasted cardio means in cardio specifically, understand you have to get your heart rate running. You can't just be doing cardio and real low, low pace stuff. You got to get your heart rate going to where you're in your fat burning zone. When you look on a treadmill and it has like the little ledger and it says like target heart rate X, Y, and Z, whatever. I can't remember what the target heart rate is for your fat burning zone, but kind of look at that and you can kind of gauge to get to that feeling. What I like to do is just get to the point where I'm really sweating. And what I'll do is I'll do 2 minutes fast and then 1 minute slow. 2 minutes fast, 1 minute slow. And that's how I do my fasted cardio for about 30 minutes. And so going back and forth like that, that really gives you a chance to just burn off just the fat and not just burn off whatever you ate that day. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're doing just cardio, let's say you do cardio after the gym, all you're doing is just burning off the food that you had in your system earlier. But when you do fasted cardio first thing in the morning, you're burning off yesterday's food plus whatever your metabolism was trying to get at. You know what I mean? So that's the best way to do it. Now, I want to add something to that. Fasted cardio is cool, but it's just not enough. The second thing you want to make sure you're doing is doing your lemon water in the morning. So if you can, you want to take a whole, like a half a lemon or a whole lemon. And if you can squeeze that whole lemon in some water and sip that lemon water, you probably going to want to use a straw, but sip that lemon water through a straw first thing in the morning before you do your fasted cardio to put that fluid in your system to really get your metabolism rolling. And even if you want to get real funky with it, you can do baking soda as well. But, just the lemon water in the morning is enough. Just make sure you use a straw. But you'll start to notice that you'll lose a lot more weight. Your system will be a lot cleaner. And when you're trying to come down and really shred at the same time, it'll be an extra boost to really make you see that cutting coming along. All right. So don't forget that. Take a quick break. Javier, you say you lost 40 pounds, went from 267 to 227 since January. That's great. You need to lose about 20 more pounds. You seem like you hit a plateau. Well, that's what happens. Like your body gets stuck at being one way. But if you think about it, if it took you a long time to gain that weight, it should take you a while to get it back off, especially if you're going for not just getting the weight off, because we all know that if you just want to lose weight, there's a whole bunch of things you can do to just lose weight. But if you want to lose it the right way, and while you're losing it, you want to come down and look like something, then you got to be careful. And that kind of takes time. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, by gaining the weight, you put yourself in a bad space. So now you got to deal with the repercussions of what happened. You know what I mean? So just be patient with it and take your time. You feel me? But it's coming up. Plateaus don't last forever. All right. The second thing, you got to eat vegetables with every meal. Okay. I know it sounds crazy, but having your vegetables like spinach in the morning, same thing in the afternoon, like green beans in the afternoon for your lunch or whatever other vegetable, adding those things to your meal is giving you more fiber. And all that fiber is going to do is keep you, going to the bathroom for one, but also keep you losing weight. But the good thing about it is that it's calories. So the calories are getting used, but the excess of it is getting pushed out of your body. So when we're leaning out, we're getting into a zone where we're constantly trying to shred but maintain that muscle. So having vegetables is, heavy calories. It's not heavy calories, it's light calories to add into your system, but because it can be dense, it'll still fill you up, right? So let's say you eat a cup of green beans. That's gonna keep your stomach pretty full. Maybe a cup of spinach, it won't keep your stomach full because spinach kind of shrivels up, but a cup of green beans will keep your stomach full. So when you have those green beans and now you put those calories into your system, you're feeling like you're full, but really what you're going to end up doing, even like with asparagus and stuff like that, or any other vegetables, they come out, through, number two, or your bowel movements, whatever like that. But it comes out to help you be pretty clean versus, not having, it helps you digest your other foods, helps you digest your proteins pretty much. So if you're having a lot of proteins in chicken and beef and, pork or fish or something like that, that stuff can stay in your system. So you couple that with a vegetable, that'll help you digest it easily. Same thing with like eggs in the morning or something like that. If you're having eggs, it's great to couple vegetables with your eggs or whatever, avocado, whatever you can add in there, but try to always get your vegetables in with every meal. Okay. All right. The third thing is when you're working out, you want to focus on volume. Okay. Not just focusing on it's not just high reps, low weight. It's not that. It's just a lot of reps. Not necessarily, and it's a lot of reps to get you conditioned. It's more of a conditioning workout. It doesn't matter how much weight you use. If you want to use heavy weight and and you can pull off doing a lot of reps with the heavy weight, that's amazing. You know what I mean? But if you can't do that heavy weight, still do the reps with as much weight as you can, because what that's going to do is get your body conditioned into burning. And it's not just because you're going to be burning more calories during the workout. And because you're burning more calories by getting worked up and sweating more and all that other stuff, you can then start to see yourself, losing more weight, because then you're going to couple that with eating cleaner. You know what I'm saying? But for somebody who's just trying to bulk, we know you don't want to burn that many calories in the gym. You don't want to be in there running all fast and stuff, but we'll get to that later. But if you're trying to, shred up, do exercises that are like compound lifts, things that make you, squat, deadlift, press, do things over your head, things that require your whole body to get a movement in. But what that's going to do also is make sure that you're burning calories from all over. You know what I mean? So make sure you keep that in mind. Okay. High volume, a lot of reps if you can. Okay. You're doing back, shoulders, chest, whatever you can, do a lot of reps. All right. And weight. The fourth thing is when it comes to food, think about earning your cheat meals. All right. So sometimes a lot of people like to just eat their cheat meals and think that it's cool just to eat whatever and whatever time of day you want to. But you need to think about earning them, justify it. Make sure that you worked out sufficient enough to be able to cover the cheat meal that you're going to have, versus just eating it and then trying to backtrack and say, okay, I'm going to work out harder tomorrow. Don't do that. Work out hard that day and say, man, I worked out pretty hard today. Let me go ahead and tonight eat what I want to because I knew I went hard today. Don't do that all the time. But if you can limit that to like just the weekends and eat clean 70%, but eat bad 30%, you'll still get lean, especially if you're doing a fasted cardio, because that fasted cardio is a game changer. I know I said that first, but realistically, like that's the whole thing. I don't know if y'all understand about that fasted cardio thing. That thing is like really powerful. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's gotten ready for a show, anybody who's tried to get conditioned before, that fasted cardio is a whole game changer. You know what I'm saying? You do that for 2-3 months, you're gonna look like something else. You know what I mean? But the other stuff is cool too. All right. The fifth thing is don't focus too much on the caloric deficit. I know a lot of times you'll get caught up on, well, how much should I eat? I can't eat this, I can't eat that. It's great to know your TDEE, however much energy and calories that you burn off regularly just at rest. It's cool to know that, but what tends to happen is if you get too caught up in the numbers, it'll throw you off. And trying to be like, okay, I got to eat 2 grams of this and 2 grams of that and 3 grams of this, it'll really throw you off. You know what I mean? And so if like I said, if you can just kind of eat cleaner, and if you're doing, some of the stuff, the one thing that I want you to do is the fasted cardio. If you can do the fasted cardio, then all this stuff will make sense. You know what I mean? Sometimes if you don't do the main thing, it might not help. So keep that in mind. All right. Okay. So now let's move on to part 2. I'm going to try and move through this one. I'm going to speed through this because we already 11 minutes in. Okay. So tips for getting big. All right. Let's get to getting big because this is important as well. A lot of people don't know how to sustain holding on to that size, and getting big. We think about it, but you think a lot of protein shakes and just eat more, lift heavy, and all this other stuff. That's cool, but it's easier said than done. You feel me? So I'm gonna give you a couple more tips to make that weight stick on you so that you understand what to do. And all right, so you got to eat calorically dense foods first and foremost. Okay, it's not just about eating more; it's about eating things that are dense. You understand? Avocados are dense, like olive oil. That's dense. You know what I'm saying? Like having peanut butter. That's dense. These are dense things. These are things that aren't just like empty calories. Like you put that stuff with your food. That's like a sweet potato. That's dense. Like you're getting a lot of calories in a sweet potato. So when you're eating these things, you got to eat stuff that's going to stick to your body, and you're eating specifically to grow. Now, of course, you may or may not be full, because however your stomach goes with that, you know what I'm saying? But my point is though, if the calories in that particular food are dense, then you're good. Like oatmeal, or if you you adding more things to it and you fixing your stuff up, you good to go, because that's how you're gonna grow. You see what I'm saying? Like, and you got to always stay fed. You got to keep food in your system. You can't never get to the point where like, oh, I'm hungry right now. What should I eat? What should I eat? You got to really be keeping that food in your body, because that's what's making you grow. And if you can do that for your system for a while, you're gonna really see a lot of progress. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. That food, eat calorically dense foods, but also stay fed. You see what I'm saying? You got to stay fed. That's one of my biggest problems, that I don't like to eat. So for me, not liking to eat is a problem. And I know some of you guys, y'all like to eat, but you like to eat bad stuff. So that makes it no fun either. You know what I'm saying? Because eating is like, half of it is I'm hungry. The other half of it is, well, does it taste good? You know what I'm saying? So if you're more on the, I eat because it tastes good, or I eat because it's hungry, then it's like you got to find that balance to be like, okay, well, I just need to eat, keep food in my system so that I can really grow. And that's where it gets tough, because even, certain people who are trying to put on size, they realize that it's hard to force yourself to eat, especially if you don't like eating, All right, the next thing is, when you're working out, try doing one body part per day. Okay. And now I'm going to say this, everybody doesn't have to do one body part a day, but what I would say is, if you can get to the point where you're just focusing a whole hour on your chest one day, another day you focusing 1 whole hour on your shoulders, focus 1 whole hour on your back, hour and a half on your back, focus an hour on maybe your biceps and your triceps one day. Maybe you can do that twice a week if it recovers. 1 whole hour, an hour and a half, 2 hours on your legs one day, another hour or so on your abs. You know what I'm saying? And then 1 more hour one day for tailoring stuff like your forearms and your traps and your lower back and your calves and stuff like that. So and your neck. If you can do that and set your days up to doing 1 major body part per day, what you'll be doing is working out, feeding that 1 muscle, working out, eating heavy to feed that 1 muscle. So all the food is going towards rejuvenating that body part, versus if you're working out and you tear your chest down, your shoulders down, your triceps down in 1 workout. Now, when you go eat, that food has to go towards recovering your chest, your shoulders, and your triceps. Versus if you just worked out 1 muscle group that day and you eat all day long, all those calories go towards recovering just those triceps, or just that chest, or just that shoulder. You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind too when you're trying to put on size. Now, I'm not saying you got to go through that all the time. There's more than one way to skin a cat. We all know that. But one of the best ways that I know has always been to do one body part per day. And I stick by that. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, I may couple in two things in my, like today I went to the gym, I did my chest and I did my shoulders. But for a while, for years, when I was getting ready for my competitions, all I did was one body part per day. Like there was never a day where I did multiple things unless it was trying to do legs twice a week. And that was hard. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. All right. Next thing is focus on illusion muscles and not so much on the muscles that you care about. Right. So for example, we may like to see, we may go into the gym and say, okay, well, I want to have a huge chest. Realistically, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like just having a big, massive, meaty chest, that's kind of strange. So let's think about the things that, make more sense that would look good if they were big and meaty, like shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Why not put that same energy into doing your shoulders? Because your shoulders got to grow here, they got to grow here for that cap, and they got to grow here in the rear delt. So if you can instead of the way you like to OD or overdose on doing chest, start focusing on overdosing on shoulders and traps, underworked muscles. You feel me? Work on areas like your triceps, areas that need to grow. Not so much of the bicep because the bicep can't necessarily grow. That's a show muscle. That's if you're looking at yourself from the front, you got biceps. You're like, oh, I got to train my biceps because I can see them. Everybody else can't see that. They're looking at you from the side. You know what I mean? So work on the tricep, work on the brachialis of your bicep, the outside piece right here. Do your pinwheel curls, which makes your arms from the front look rounder. You see what I'm saying? Do things like that. Work on the muscles that make you stand out if you're going to be beating it down versus just working on stuff that's like go-to exercises. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully that makes some sense to you, okay? These are the illusion muscles. Work on making your waist small. You see what I'm saying? Instead of just, I saw a guy in the gym today. I'm so glad I'm not that famous yet because I could talk smack about people and they don't come back to my channel and be like, yo, you talked about me today? But I seen a dude in the gym today and he had a good size to him, but he had that stomach too. He had that I work out hard, but I drink protein shakes after. You know what I mean? Like you got that big body, but it doesn't necessarily, equate to beauty when you have things like, a big solid waist to go along with those, with those figures. You got to have a small waist. You got to have big shoulders and small waist, not big shoulders and a big stomach. You know what I mean? Like, come on. So keep that in mind too, okay? Work on the illusion muscles. And don't forget that. Work on the quad sweep. Work on the calves too. When you wear shorts, when y'all wear shorts and you go outside and women are joking on guys for not having calves, it's because you wearing shorts. If you wear your pants, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to be wearing shorts, you got to work some calves a little bit. You got to have something. You got to at least have some type of strain in your calf when you walk. You can't just have two stick legs. You feel me? So try to do some type of calves, especially if you're going to wear shorts. Okay. Keep that in mind. All right. The fourth thing is sleep recovery. Okay. You got to go to sleep. You got to try and recover. And, even for me, sometimes I may not get that much sleep at night because I'm waking up trying to check the charts and see if, Litecoin is shot up or Bitcoin shot up because different times of the day is moving. And so my sleep is kind of thrown off. I understand that. But what I will do is I'll take naps. And sometimes I'll just sit down and chill. You know what I mean? Like I got to take my time just to sit down and not really exert so much energy, just so that my muscles do get a chance to recover. I'm also taking glutamine. So glutamine does help with recovery too, from what they say. And potassium citrate as well, I think it's good for muscle cramps and recovery as well too. So y'all can look into those two things as well. Okay. But try to do those things. Okay? Try to do that to recover your muscles so that your body has a chance to recover. And also don't work out again until you're finished being sore in that area. So if you worked your chest and your shoulders, don't go in the gym again and do chest and shoulders until you finish recovering from the previous day. You see what I'm saying? Or from the previous workout. And what I mean by recovering is you're not sore anymore. If you're still sore, leave it alone. If you're not sore, okay, cool. You can go back to it. Okay. All right. Now, the last thing is, like we talked about earlier on, you want to do some cardio, but not too much. Too much cardio is going to burn too many calories. We don't need to do that. And especially if you have a job that requires you to burn a certain amount of calories anyway, doing any more cardio on top of that, it's unnecessary to a degree. You know what I mean? Like you got to do some, but you don't want to go hard to the point where it feels like cardio. Like cardio is where you sweat. You know what I mean? If you want to go warm up, do a couple things to get you acclimated. You know, cardio maybe once a week just to keep your heart rate running, to keep you feeling good and be like, okay, you know, I can still run and I still got the body. That's fine. But doing it hardcore and like getting busy, I would prefer, if you are going to get worked up and stuff like that, do a low impact exercise, right? So like for me, I'll do the Stairmaster, or to be quite honest, I know I'm like an old man, but I like doing a little step mill, you know, when the little feet just do like, I like that one, you know, and I'll get on that and I'll do that for 20 minutes and play with the resistance on there. You know, I don't ever see anybody else doing it, but I'll get on it by myself and just vibe out, you know. So try stuff like that because it's low impact, and you know, it's not necessarily just your lower body moving if you're on a bike, or your upper body moving if you're on an elliptical, or you know, your lower body having to move if you're on the treadmill or something like that. So when you are doing something that's just kind of stable and a low pace, you know, do the treadmill, turn it down real slow, and just walk it slow for 5 to 10 minutes. You know, just so that your body knows that, okay, we're doing cardio, but not enough to be like, whew, that was a lot. Okay. All right. I hope y'all understand that. Let me see. Let me read a couple more of these comments. Javier, you said your goal is to be able to take off your shirt and to be a head turner. Oh, absolutely. It's coming, man. You say you've been going through a drop with the ladies lately. Do I have any advice for the ladies? Whoo, that would be a whole different channel. Y'all, y'all don't want my advice for ladies. You know what I would tell you with anything with relationships? I would say, if you can find out what your personality type is, that kind of makes things a lot easier going forward to knowing who would be compatible with you. You know what I'm saying? Even things like astrology, like you know your zodiac. Find chicks that astrology matches with yours, and find women whose personality types coincide with yours. That way, you know, it's not like you're working so hard. You know what I mean? Like my ex, it was like pulling teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like because I was young, but I had been with her for so long, so it was like really pulling teeth to get things out of her. But as I got older and I started to know myself more, now I can navigate easily through a chick and be like, oh no, I can't do nothing with her. Oh yeah, I could do something with her. Oh yeah, she's good, but she don't have this. You know what I mean? Because our minds got to match first. And then if you guys can align, y'all can do anything. You feel me? So but think about that first. Other than that though, get your body right. You know what I'm saying? And if you get your body right, you'll be a head turner. And that'll definitely get you some women. But you know, you got to open your mouth too. You can't just look good. You got to actually walk up to them and say something. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something in this video. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, if you got questions, leave them in the comments. I do come back and read these comments to see if I can help anybody else out and make videos on the topics. And I got a couple more Kelly Brown Naturals containers. Thank you guys for. Oh, hey, somebody donated $10 to me last week. I want to appreciate you for that, man. Shout out for sending me the $10 in my I think it was my Cash App or something like that. That was thoughtful. I appreciated that. Don't forget to get your books. You know, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my Instagram. Everything is at Get Fit with KB. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.